Hello, beloveds. Welcome to Saturn Stories. This is our second session, and I'm super excited. For those of you that are able to drop in live, and I see one beloved is already with us, I'm super excited, so thank you for that. I am Brooke Grove. I am a near-death experiencer, healer teacher, conscious channel, and author. So thank you for holding space with me today. In these sessions, I am simply channeling a medicinal story. It has been my great gift since my NDE to open myself up to my abilities as a conscious channel, which I've been since childhood. Yet it was my elders who taught me the magic of storytelling. And as I got to share in their death experiences, they gifted me with so much wisdom. And I have now really stepped into my power as a storyteller and activated my own children, which are natural storytellers. All children are, to share in this wisdom. I feel it is one of the most ancient forms of healing. If you look at shamanic cultures and other cultures around the world, where the elders kept circles and they kept ceremony and they told stories. It is the most ancient form of medicine. So thank you for joining me, whether it's live or through all time and space. I'm going to open this up to you, Serenity. If you would like to throw a few words in here as you're live, go for it. I will consciously channel a story based on 3 or 4 words you put into the field if you're called. If you're not, I'll just go with whatever spirit drops in. So I'll give you a moment if you want, or anyone else. I see a couple people are dropping in right now. Hello and welcome. There's a few of you. If called, feel free to comment. And if you're in the chat, you're welcome to put a few words and I could go from there. If not, I will just give it a moment and let's see what spirit brings through. As I've explained in previous discussions with Jupiter sessions, I am doing about an hour of active creation work and field work before I step in here. So the field is very activated and my guides are very present, and I'm calling in the highest and best of your teams of the highest light, whether it's your angelics, whether it's your deep ancestors, whether it's your multidimensional star brothers and sisters. That is up to you, your field, and creation. Okay, I'm dropping in a little bit to see what kind of prompt or guidance I'm getting. Oh, apparently I'm getting a package. Let's just ignore that. Okay, pardon that. Okay. You know, I still am deeply feeling, oh, okay, never mind. Here, I'm gonna go with what she's saying, but I'm gonna tie it into what was just coming through. Okay, so Serenity is bringing up healing, energy clearing, health and boundaries, protection. Okay, these are all juicy. It's really hard to actually choose from those. And they were divinely aligned to what I was dropping into right there and then. So perfect timing. Thank you. I don't know why they're hitting so many door. I'm not going to get that right now. So hold on. Okay. They can leave the package. All right. So healing. I think before we drop into healing, I want to talk about energetic boundaries. Energetic boundaries are so important. I feel I have this conversation with my clients day in and day out. I teach a lot about energetic boundaries. I always tell my beautiful persons that are coming to me that energetic boundaries are as essential as brushing your teeth. Okay, when you're waking up in the morning, to me, as a highly sensitive, as an empath, as a channel, I actually put my energetic boundaries first. Case in point, the doorbell ringing right now. I'm not interrupting what I'm doing here with you for a transmission, for a package, or whatever that was. Okay, so that's just a boundary, and I hold it sacred. This is my time. This is our time. This is our space. It is that simple. It is saying, this is my space. I am the sovereign integra of my field. This is my boundary. This is my sacred temple. This is my precious energy field. I get to choose who and what I share it with. Now, I'll give you an example because Saturn stories are all about real life medicinal examples. I've been, like many of you, I imagine, very active in my dream state, given the state of our conscious world. There's so much that many people don't understand is happening in the astral realms or the multidimensional realms, however you choose to interpret that information. And so, for those of us that have the ability to expand our consciousness in our dreams and serve, we're doing just that. And I often hear from clients that they're waking up super exhausted. Like, no matter how much sleep they get, they're not able to feel like fully rested. A lot of that is because you are hyperactive in your dream state. So, an invitation here is directly correlated to Serenity's request for energetic boundaries. I really invite you, when you're waking and when you're going into your dream time or you're going to bed, if that's how you'd like to describe it, to engage in certain practices. Okay. And these practices are really to allow yourself that sovereignty to come back. So for me, when I'm waking, the first thing is going to be I release any and all energy that is not mine. And I send it with love on its evolutionary journey. Meaning, if I've picked something up in the dream space that is not mine, or I was participating in something that was not mine to carry, that I was in service in another realm, I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. And I'm sending it back on its evolutionary journey with love, with so, so, so much love. Always love, because you're not ever causing any harm. And that's always the intentionality. So I wake up, I feel my field. If I feel heavy, if I feel dense, if I feel anything that's like a little off, it's like, okay, what is and isn't mine, that's not. So, okay, spirit, I release anything that is not mine here and now on its evolutionary journey with so much love. And then I am the sovereign integral of my field. From that space, you are plugging into your power, your journey, your power, your journey, your power. And make that alive. Like, I do this all before I get the covers off. Like, make it alive for you. I am the sovereign integral of my field. Drop it down from the head, down into the heart, down into the womb, down into the body. And from that place, step into your day. At the conclusion of your night, this is very important for those of you that might be participating, as I intuitively know many of you are, in the galactic activities that are happening in the multidimensional realm, which is really a spiritual war. And that's been going on a lot longer than the stuff we've heard on the ground. So we're just going to then say at the end of the day, I release any and all energy that is not mine. I release, I release, I release. And if you need to shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Move, get the body involved. The body's holding a lot for you. And quite often our energy is so disconnected from the body. So just allow yourself to shake it off. I release any and all energy that is not mine. Again, sending it with love on its evolutionary journey. And again, decreeing, I am the sovereign integral of my field. I am the sovereign integral of my field. Now, I personally like to then invite my highest teams to say, hey guys, it's dream time. I'm tired. Like, my physical body is tired. So tonight, please assist me in only going to the highest realms. And for me, that's like 7D and beyond. Okay, so 7 to 12D, where there's just like peace and unity. Take me to the highest realms in my dream body, and may I only be active there and support me in this. Quite often, beloveds, our consciousness is going into like the lower 4D, which is where there's a lot of gross stuff. It's very similar to Earth. We're seeing a lot of it play out right now on the ground. You don't want to get caught up in there. And then when you bring that back down with the density that's going on in the here and now, it's just a yucky energy. And it's really hard if you're not stopping. like I said, to brush your teeth with your energy medicine every morning, when you come out of that dream state and you jump into your day, you're already contaminated. And I feel so many energy sensitives are doing this. They're rushing out to jobs of service, like perhaps being a healer, a clinician, an artist that's, making art for light workers. I mean, I've seen it all. I have people that are serving, in really beautiful ways in the dying paradigm, and yet they have to go into that paradigm every single day to serve. Well, we have to pause for our energetic hygiene to be honored, because if not, that constrictive nature of Saturn, that's the name of these stories, it will come in and it'll be like, it just gets like a disqualified energy. It becomes constriction. And that's why we need practices like Jupiter to expand and to go beyond that. So I really invite you, if you want to take healing seriously, if you want to serve as a healer, and I see so many healers that are serving, yet they're not doing this, then it is your soul contract, it is your obligation, it is your devotion to practice energetic boundaries every single day. And that is part of why, before I step into Jupiter sessions or Saturn stories, I'm doing an hour of work with creation so that I'm expanding my field. I'm removing any and all debris. Again, as an aligned healer, it is your service requirement to be doing this on the daily. So that's a beautiful question. I love that you're saying that, Serenity. Thank you for that offering. I would like to expand on energy clearing a bit, because that was a secondary question she had listed there. Energy clearing is such a personal practice. I can't necessarily tell you what's going to work for you. My clients are from around the world and they all serve in different, beautifully unique ways. And there's no one size fits all. I'm going to hydrate. You guys always need to hydrate. And I love my little mushroom cup. I drink a lot of functional mushrooms for my health. So this cup's an honoring to them. So that said, like mushrooms, we're all interconnected. And if you look at fungi, there's this vast network, and this is part of why they work as medicine too. There's this vast network that's occurring below the ground where the fungi are all communicating with each other. It's why they are the most profound and prolific species on the planet, because they have this way of interconnecting, communicating, and then spreading. Okay. This is somewhat like what happens when your energy is aligned. When you are doing energy clearing every single day, you are going to move out the distortions in your field. And as you move out the distortions in your field and you begin to serve and emanate and resonate with the highest and best expression of your divine light, guess what happens without efforting, without force, without any kind of trying? You simply become the energy you wish to attract. It is the law of magnetism. It is the law of the universe. It is the law of one. So energy clearing as a devotional practice is at its core a prerequisite to all manifestation. And I believe I've said it here in other talks that I'm not a big fan. I like having my hair near me because it's like it's like an energy buffer. That said, there's so many ways I don't like the word manifestation, if I'm honest, just because it's become one of those like buzzwords in the culture where quite often it's like, well, I'm manifesting this, but there's a lack of integrity. There's a lack of alignment with it. So if you want to manifest everything, your fundamental prerequisite is that you must have clear energy. You must be sourcing from a plugged in well. So you can circle back to an episode I just did of the Jupiter sessions about opening the channel if you want, about connecting that way. But a daily practice that's so easy and that we all in some way or another work with is water. Water is a conduit of consciousness. Water, as it's been proven by quantum physics, carries and responds to our molecules of emotion. I'm sure many of you have seen that famous documentary. If you haven't, go check it out. It's really cool. But you can take a simple bottle of water and you can program it each and every day, as I talked about last week, or when you're in the shower or in water, like taking a bath. Baths are huge for highly sensitives. I highly recommend Epsom salt baths. You can only do about 2 to 3 a week because of the magnesium, but just programming the water when you put the salts in the water, asking the water to release the density, asking the water to return you to the purity of your soul's essence, asking it to remove any and all energy that is not yours to carry, and witnessing it, whether it's a bath or a shower each and every day, taking it away. We're not talking about physical debris. The water's already going to do that. We're talking about energetic. And you can expand this, beloveds. This is the wonderful thing about intention. And this is the wonderful thing about manifestation when you're really actually doing it in alignment. And the wonderful thing about water, it all responds to frequency. And I say this all the time, and I'm going to continue to say it all the time because it is relevant medicine. We talk a lot about vibration. Vibration is how you are in the moment. So like right now, I have a vibration that I'm transmitting as I speak to you, but that is temporal, okay? What's bigger than vibration is frequency. And my invitation to you, beloveds, and I sense it's why so many of you are here with me, is that you are frequency holders. Frequency holders are the change makers. We are the light bringers. We are the way showers of where this collective is going. And in these dark times, we are the lighthouses. And in order to be that lighthouse, your frequency needs to be stable. And what is the foundation of a frequency that is high and unshakable? I mean, look at all the darkness that's going on in the world. And yet we wake up every single day. What do? Well, I know for persons like myself, and there are many people that I'm doing this work with, and I witness them and I love them and I learn and I grow with them. We wake up and we tend to our energetic hygiene. And from that energetic hygiene, we then do whatever is necessary for our unique selves and our unique fields to clear and stabilize the field. And so I always encourage using a bubble of light, as do almost every path. And you can choose. I like to do 3. For me, a psychic shield of 3 is always more protective. You can do it however you feel, but you're just basically calling in one color of light, followed by another color of light, followed by another color of light. And if you're like me and you're open to the angelics, then of course you're calling in whichever angels you feel most aligned to. If you need healing, call in Raphael and this is beautiful green. If you want fierce protection, call in Archangel Michael and his electric blue fire. If you're in an emotional state and you want support with that, call in Gabriel and that beautiful diamond white fire. If you're dealing with earth systems that are difficult, then call in that beautiful ruby red of Uriel. And if you're really doing ascension work and you want to be tapped into the Christ codes, then look above and call in Metatron. And if you want to be connected to the earth grid below, or you want it all, ask for them all and call in Sandafon from below and imagine that crystalline color coming up, however you envision it. Again, I'm giving you mere suggestions as to how their fields like to present, but there's no one size fits all. But simply engaging with water as a devotional practice each and every morning in that way, aided by your bubbles of light, however you see fit. Again, that triple shield works wonders. And at any time in your day, if you start to feel like, whoo, especially if you work in systems where you're picking up a lot of stuff, just remember that you can ask for assistance, cutting it away. You do have to ask the angels. A lot of people say, my angels aren't helping me. You have to ask. It is part of the universal contract and the universal law. They respect your sovereignty, your free will. They will not interject unless You ask, or it's a life and death situation. So ask, 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 ask. They are multidimensional beings. They can be everywhere simultaneously. So you, me, them, whoever calling upon assistance, they will be there for us all. That's just a done deal. So don't feel shy in asking. Don't feel that you are too much. They love you unconditionally, as does all of creation. Please do make sure that when you're interacting, I've seen this a lot, so I am going to add this caveat, and Spirit's okay with it. I'm feeling into the energy. Yeah, they're cool. There's a lot of false light beings right now, and false light, it's really the dark attempting to hijack the field. And because we have so much distortion in our mind that comes from some of the darker energies that are at play on the earth grid right now, I want you to be really crystal clear when you're working with multidimensional energy that it is for the highest and best, and that it's in service to unconditional love. And just remember that when you're calling in angels, you can always say, "True Archangel Michael," and of the highest light and resonance. That's a huge way of just getting rid of any of the 40 funky stuff. And when you're working with guides, you always get to ask them, are you the true yada, 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 whomever they may be? And a true light being cannot manipulate, they cannot distort, and the only frequency you will feel is unconditional love. If you ever feel anything other than unconditional love, you are not working with the highest light in resonance, and you need to release it and send it on its evolutionary journey. I do not say that to scare you, dear ones, in the least. I do that to empower you. Remember, you are always the sovereign integral. You always get to choose what energy you're engaging with. And that is how you really begin to detract the noise from the collective, from the psyche, because we all have lower interference in the mind. And you begin to realize what your higher self, the frequency of your higher self, you'll begin to know that. I mean, the more you play with these higher parts of yourself, the more that you invite them in, the more that you do these energetic boundaries, the more that you invite this protection in daily, you will know when you are coming from lower mind. And my clients hear me do this all the time. My kids hear me do this all the time. Those of you that have watched a lot of my near-death interviews or documentaries have also likely heard it. But I will have conversations. Like, I will have conversations internally, but I externalize them for my clients and for purposes of teaching, where it's like, oh, well, mind says, but spirit says, body says, and I separate them as a trinity only to see where the highest resonance is coming from. And quite often, lower mind is the loudest. Like when I'm triggered, when anyone's triggered, lower mind's going to be the loudest. But when I listen to the voice of reason, which is the bigger power in that trinity between mind, body, and spirit, it's always this frequency coming in from spirit, often in the body too, because the body is a gateway of wisdom that disallows the noise of the lower mind. And when the lower mind shows up that way, I just love it. I just love it. I'm just like, okay, this tender human part of me, this part that has been activated because of the past, it has a rightful place. Like, it has a righteous reason that it's remembering this now. So again, I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to fight it, but I'm also not going to surrender to it. And that's the work of energetic boundaries in the lived experience of the moment, is starting to realize that we have these multidimensional, aspects of self, that we are literally fragments of our multidimensional oversoul, and that there are parts that are wounded and there are parts that are tender, and yet they're all parts of us. And the more we begin to listen to the wounded with compassion, without shame, without judgment, without turning into the negative portion of Saturn, which is like where you're like overtly authoritarian and you're like disciplinary and unloving, kind of like the cold patriarchal father. The more we can soften that and become the other side of Saturn, which is the alchemist, the witness, Father Time in a compassionate perspective, or the Divine Mother of compassion, the Kuan Yin, the more we can hold spaces for those tender parts of ourselves with love, staying in our boundaries, you can feel it without becoming it. That's when you know you're really living and walking and embodying the work. And that does not happen overnight, beloveds. It does not. It's an ongoing practice, and I fail as often as I succeed. And as I tell my children, failing is the learning curve of success. Fail messily, fail beautifully, fail every day. But the more you get up and you do it again, the more you'll succeed. And that's really the work. So I invite you to take whatever of these practices, whatever of these medicinal stories I have shared today, and embody them in your own unique, beautiful way, and allow the shifts. And I promise you, if you devote yourself to any or all of these practices, these energy techniques, you will feel shifts. And not only will you feel shifts, your immediate environment will support you by reflecting them back to you, whether it's through other people, whether it's the plants and animals that you share your space with. But energy responds to energy, and we are all energetic beings, beloved. Most of humanity is just starting to wake up to this. So you are already ahead of the divine assignment, and I thank you for living this with me and sharing this medicine and sharing this time today. And thank you so much for your questions. I'm going to drop in just for a moment now. I see that we've got some gratitude. Thank you, this, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad it worked for you and resonated. And James is sharing with us that when he turns into the old dark energy into love, he watches it fly away as little hearts with wings. I absolutely love that. I honor it. That's the beauty of transmuting in the moment. That's the beauty of visualization and you being a multidimensional conscious co-creator with the infinite all of everything. We have the power to do that. We have the power to either surrender to our demons, to surrender to our programs, to take them on as identity, as I know, because I did it for decades. So I do not judge it. And yet we also have the power to step into our sovereign integral as a master alchemist and transmute it in the holy moment. So yes, James, big holy yes. I love that you shared that with us today because that is the medicine in action. I'm glad you're here today, Robin. Thank you for joining us. So again, beloveds, I am just so in awe of all of you. Thank you, Serenity, for your questions. Thank you for that dove. The dove is the totem of the Pleiades. The Pleiades is where much of my oversoul is from. So thank you to all of you who have shared space today. And I invite you, if you're not here live, to please comment on the videos as an energy exchange for today's love offering. My only request is that you take each and every practice, whatever resonates for you in the now. There's no right or wrong. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Illuminate your divine essence and share it. Share it freely with our awakening world because again, beloveds, the giving is receiving and the receiving is giving. When you give love, you receive love. It is that simple. Thank you for being in the creation current with me today. I honor you. I am grateful for you. I wish you the most beautiful day and stay in your light. Thank you. Thanks again to everyone that participated. Reading more.